Hey, are you basic in Baldur's Gate? Well, with Larian's new community update, we now have the capacity to know. Okay, so in case you didn't know, I've been playing Baldur's Gate 3 addictively ever since 2 days before launch because I bought it early by just a little bit, and then I couldn't help but start playing it, and then I didn't sleep one day because I was too busy playing this game. So I do have some stakes in, you know, the question of whether or not I too am a basic bitch, a basic Baldur's Gate bitch. So let's start off with like the races. The most common race is a half-elf, which is interesting. Usually it's a human, but I think it's because the human facial features are a bit gruffer generally, and a bit they tinge a bit older. So I feel like because they're not as young or delicate, perhaps that's why people skewed a bit more towards half-elf, right? You know, some people like they're pretty boys, is what I'm saying. Well, another thing, it's really funny that Tiefling is like right there in the middle. I didn't expect that. Tiefling is like very popular. When it comes to Dungeons and Dragons, Tieflings are usually like at the very top, right? It should be like human, half-elf, Tiefling. It's strange that Dragonborns, you know, there's a lot more of them than Tieflings. That's unusual. You know what that means, right? That means we've got a lot of furry friends in the Baldur's Gate community. Welcome to Baldur's Gate 3, my furry friends. You know, you are the future, right? Of the characters that I've made the Drow, I've made the Tiefling, and I've made the half-elf. So what does that mean? Does it mean I'm not? Am I basic? Am I basic? Am I basic? It's just 1 out of 3, right? Like, you know, it's 3 strike throughout. What if I'm basic 3 instances, I'm considered basic, you're considered basic? Maybe I should count it like a majority vote, right? Like, if most of my characters aren't basic but 1 is, I count that as not basic, right? So that's 2 out of 1. So for race choices, not basic. Let's go. So class choices. Oh no, I'm fucked. Paladin is the most basic class choice. That's so strange. Usually it's like fighter, but I guess paladins are sort of fighters, right? I don't know. That's actually quite strange. I don't know why people want to play paladin. Paladin at level 1 is just the worst fighter, you know? I think it's because, you know, I'm starting to realize that like the mainstream appeal of Baldur's Gate actually has got a lot of non-D&D people playing it. So I think that really affects their choices. So as for me, I have a ranger and a wizard. Ha, look at them. They're towards the end of the graph. Ha 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 ha. And I got 1 paladin. So it seems like I'm also not basic. In fact, I'm pretty base because they're towards the end of the thing, the end of the graph. It's so funny. So like a lot of people are choosing high charisma characters like paladin, sorcerer, and warlock. Huh. And bard actually, but then it's a bit weird that bard is right after rogue. Bards usually, people love playing bards, right? That's a staple. People wanna fuck things. That's interesting. Little known fact, if you aren't a Dungeons and Dragons player, rogues can also get laid very well. Yep. Because they're monkeys of skill. Truly, indeed. Oh wow, so I didn't use an origin character, so this doesn't apply to me. Well, a lot of people are using Gail, which is really funny because not a lot of people are playing Wizard, but a lot of people want to be Gail. I understand why people want to be Karlach because she's so fucking hot and she's like the fucking best. Asterion is also hot. I think it's a bit strange Shadowheart is at 4th place when she's like such a babe, right? She's a woman after my own heart. It's like Karlach, but then like, I don't get that. Why is she so far behind? I feel like she should have taken Asterian's place. But it makes sense, I guess, because she's a cleric, and I think not a lot of people wanted to play cleric if you look at the class choice. But did you guys know clerics are OP? Clerics are OP in Dungeons and Dragons. They're not heal bots. In fact, you're everything but a heal bot. You're a very strong damage dealer that can also heal, which means you're just better at everything. Not to mention, clerics usually are spec'd into strength, so they can also bonk things really hard. Okay. Opening weekend in numbers. So most people did the diplomacy route. Okay. That's one for basic for me. I actually tried the other route, the one where we let the grove die. Not in the save I'm playing on stream, but in the save I was playing with a friend. Oh, by the way, did you not know I stream on twitch.tv/KomiKitty? Ha 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 ha. Perfect time to inject that into the conversation. I'm gonna be streaming Baldur's Gate until I wither and die. So, see you there maybe? Scratch has been petted 750,000 times. Ooh, yes, indeed. Players spoke to over 1,400,000 corpses and 2,400,000 animals. Wow, that's a lot. I barely spoke to any animals, but I spoke to lots of corpses, because I could call myself non-basic, because I prefer to talk to the dead than to talk to a living, breathing future of adorableness. Huh. Okay. Players have played for at least 10,000 hours. Oh wow, that's a good stat. Jeez. I feel I'm definitely not the only addict here, right? I'm definitely not the only one just like losing their life to Baldur's Gate, right? So, oh my god, 368 people managed to finish the game? That's amazing. I can't even imagine moving forward in the game. I don't even want to get to the ending. I don't think I'm gonna get to the ending. I think I'm just gonna get to endgame and then stop playing the game and start a new save because I never want the adventure to end. Oh, 93% of players rolled a custom character. Ooh, players spend a combined 88 years in character creation. Nearly 10% of carriers spend at least an hour in character creation. Well, that's 2 points into basic, so I guess I really am basic, huh? Now let's see how many more basic points I can get within the first week of Baldur's Gate. Gail was the most popular origin character. We get it, who can resist the allure of this head of hair? Wow. I mean, Gail's handsome. I think a lot of people find Gail handsome, but I remember when I first saw Gail, I hated his guts so much. I really hated him. I think it's because he said something racist. He said something about the Rashemi people, which are basically... They're basically like the Romani people, but a little bit different, right? They have a different history, but then they're basically like the Romani people. He said they weren't smart, and that really pissed me off. But then he's so nice! The rest of the game is so nice, and he praises me all the time, so I couldn't help but love him, right? Gail was also the 7th cause of death for players. Man, you know, it's really hard to aim your Thunder Wave AoE skills, right? It's a real learning curve, even in Dungeons and Dragons, right? Okay, almost 100,000 players have been rejected by Astarion. Oh my god, that's at 5 basic points. I have 5 basic points. I got rejected by this guy a lot. By a lot, I mean once. He won in early access and won in release. The thing is that Astarion is a very specific kind of guy. He likes assholes. He likes it if you're really mean and like a prick. But at the same time, if you're too much of a prick, he won't like you. Totally we can change him, right? One NPC was shoved into a chasm for every concurrent player we had during the peak on Sunday. Well, I didn't shove anybody into a chasm. So, I'm not like every other concurrent player. I haven't shoved anybody into a chasm yet. Of all player deaths, 12% were caused by friendly fire. No, I didn't. I didn't die from friendly fire. And that's it. So, are you basic? Answer the comment section what you think. Goodbye. I got 5 basic points. Huh, does this mean I'm normal? Does this mean I'm normal like the everyday Baldur's Gater? Does this make me normal like you now? See you next time.